Welcome to Confirmation Bias, presented by the League Ambassadors.
I'm Ambassador Kenny Ken. Mikey Garcia, you need to stop acting like Robert Easter doesn't have 4 inches in height on you and 8 inches in reach on you. And that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Ambassador Junior Blue, and Julio Jones found out it's not a good thing to try to renegotiate your contract with 3 years left. And that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Ambassador Dad, and there was a story that a DMV employee slept at least 3 hours a day at work for almost 4 years. Only in America can someone at a state-ran job where the waits are long and the customer service is piss poor, can this behavior be even acknowledged and them not being fired or reprimanded. Cost the state $40,000 over the course of that time. And y'all out here tripping on Mello. And that's my confirmation bias.
Yo, it had to go somewhere. I'm Redo. And the Chicago Bears, mark my words. They will finish second in the division. Unless we don't. And that's my confirmation bias.
And I'm Ambassador Chef Curry. And unfortunately, we need to let go of Moritz Boehringer this upcoming season because there's a new German trying to make an NFL roster this season, and he's a brother. That's my confirmation bias.
Welcome to Confirmation Bias, hosted by the League Ambassadors. As a reminder, please check us out across all social media platforms on our handle at The League AM, as well as our website, theleagueam.com, where you can find all of our content, our flagship NFL podcast, 32 Kings Road, and our Blogspot diplomatic community, where you, the fan, can spit your bars and drop your hot fire as it pertains to the world of sports. For those of you who are watching us on Facebook Live, please share the feed, as well as send us any questions or comments that we can attempt to answer at the end of our show in our segment, Diplomatic Immunity. Please download and subscribe to our podcast, 32 Kings Road and Confirmation Bias, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel under the banner League Ambassadors. This is episode 66 of Confirmation Bias, and also our last for season 2. We will be back in a few short weeks.
Says you.
For season 3 of 32 Kings Road, which is going to be on August 28th. So today, with that in mind, we will, as ambassadors, tackle important questions regarding all of our NFL teams in training camp.
I's got a team. Golf clap Virginia. I's got a team.
Yeah, so let's jump right in that. So let's get started actually in the AFC West, as we just alluded to. 2 ambassadors have teams in this division. Ambassador Junior Blue, let's ask Kenny Ken about his Los Angeles Chargers.
First off, October 7th, what's up?
Run it! And that's the day before my birthday.
Let's do it.
We run it.
Tailgate and everything.
Tailgate, where's the game at?
Inglewood, baby.
Oh, no, it's definitely not in Inglewood.
Carson.
Oh, okay, for sure. I'm putting that down right now. October 7th.
I'm a year ahead of time.
October 7th, for sure.
It's going up fast, though. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it is going up fast.
All right, so your all-pro, all-world tight end retired.
Yes. He's on his way back, though.
Yeah, and Hunter Henry, his replacement, tore his ACL.
He did.
My question is bringing Gates back really the right thing to do? I mean, the man was gone.
Yeah, he was gone because, it sounds so funny saying we. True story. I probably have been asked, over the last 3 months, oh, yeah, so do you have a team? And I feel
You
like
forget?
no, I don't forget. I feel like I'm lying because I'm like
You are.
You got 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I'm like, yeah. I'm a fan of the Chargers, and they go, oh, it doesn't feel real. But anyway, Gates, yes, they were ready to move on, right? Hunter Henry really giving him that spot. So I don't think he was ready to go. I think it was more as what the Chargers were doing, and unfortunately, but as is the Chargers' custom, and it will probably be someone else. I hope not. Knock on wood that not another key player gets hurt, but someone gets hurt. It was Hunter Henry's turn, so they're going to bring him back. And Virgil Green is a tight end to look out for. They like him a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a plug and play though. I would say that.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
alternate? Yeah. Okay. Well, he's a Raiders fan.
Is that what we going to alternate?
I
If
know.
we not-
I didn't know we were
if-
alternate.
If we not, then I got the next one
Yeah.
ready for you.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, how much longer can you rely on your 36-year-old quarterback to be a 4,000 plus yards, 28 plus touchdowns a year player?
Listen, Phillip Rivers, he definitely takes care of himself. The thing I'm not worried about Phillip Rivers' production.
It's 20 kids to take care.
He's just trying to be out the house.
Right. I'm not. It's not his production that worries me. It's that if we have a really, really good team. I think the best team in the division. And what I'm concerned about is that when the game, I said it, is that when the games get big, what I have seen from Phillip Rivers consistently throughout his career is that when the games get big or when the moments get big, he wants it too much. And honestly, I don't know that we have another player on the offensive side good enough to really sort of ease the burden off of Phillip Rivers. So the production I'm not worried about. I think he'll be there. I think, we all know the advances that have happened in sports medicine and just players in general. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning for a while. Eli Manning is still going. Like, I'm not worried. Ben Roethlisberger, I'm not worried about him still being able to produce, but I think we have a good enough team to really make some noise, and I'm just worried about those big games and how he'll perform in those games.
Okay, y'all the second best team, but okay. Last year, Young Ho probably cost you guys a playoff berth.
It's always the young hoes. It's never the old hoes. The old hoes know they roll. It's the young hoes.
Is it Caleb Sturgis? Is that really the answer?
I hope so, man. It's so bad. But we got Omar's favorite kicker, Aguayo's in camp too to push him. No,
Really?
to push him.
Push it right.
Yeah, Caleb Sturgis. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, it just.
hope the games aren't that
I
close?
hope the games aren't that close. I hope it doesn't come down to here. But we'll see. I mean, Sturgis. He had one good year. I don't know what that's a weird thing. I don't know who do you call or who do you blame when you can't get the kicker right. Like, it should be a very easy thing
The
to
GM,
sort out.
Ask me.
So yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Last question. Will the Chargers ever become LA's squad? Because they're third right now at the highest.
I think, just overall.
Wait, third of what?
Football.
Okay.
LA squad, yeah.
Okay.
So, because you got the Rams,
Mm-hmm.
you got the Raiders,
Mm-hmm.
and then possibly the Chargers.
Yeah, well, we got the best
I was
team.
thinking Cowboys.
We got
Yeah, I know. That's why I said the highest they could be is third.
we got the best team in our division. So,
Let's throw that shot again.
and
No collusion.
I think right. I think honestly, and I said this even when we talked about the teams coming back here, probably on 32 Kings Road. We talked about it, but LA, for better or for worse, is a Lakers town and a Dodgers town. All other sports teams, you have to produce. You have to win. The Rams went to the playoffs last year, so they're there. If we can perform up to our talent level and the expectation, we will become a viable team in LA. We will become the team in LA because I believe that this Chargers squad, particularly with Phillip Rivers at the helm, this is a Super Bowl contending team.
What local radio station are they on?
570.
Yeah,
They're on 570.
Are they?
Okay.
I didn't even know.
This is so weird hearing Kenyon commit to somebody like this. Like I haven't seen his dedication since that Kobe night.
We should have it right
I know.
here. And now you are the only one who's not dedicated.
Ooh. I see what you did there.
Oh wow. So we'll talk about these sorry ass Raiders.
Oh,
and honestly,
shots still
the
coming.
shots are still going. And they're
He
not.
just got it to you.
I know. I gotta embrace it. And they're not that sorry. I honestly think I think they're gonna be. And I've told you this. I think they're gonna be great on offense and terrible on defense. First question I have for you though is, we know what Khalil Mack is waiting on. Khalil Mack is not waiting on an extension. He's waiting on Aaron Donald.
They're both waiting on the
Exactly.
same thing.
They're
waiting on the bag.
So my question to you is, if Aaron Donald, who Adam Schefter reported today, said he's not playing another down on this deal, are you worried about Khalil Mack just not showing up until the regular season starts?
I won't worry about that until it's actually the season, because we've seen this before. People hold out. He still has another year left. People hold out all the time, and they end up coming back. The one successful person was Emmitt Smith when he held out 2 games. They lost the first 2 games, and they were like, yeah, we better pay this man. If that happens, I'm worried. If we get there, I'm worried.
Aaron Donald last year showed up
And
before
ball-
game day
and balled out.
won defensive player.
Yeah, and balled out, so I'm not worried about that.
Okay. Biggest training camp battle for you that you're going to be keeping your eye on?
For me, honestly, it has to be our strong safety. Because, my bad, our free safety.
Okay.
Because I can't deal with Reggie Nelson back there anymore.
Even though he knows Gunther's system?
Even though he knows, and that's the only
Why
reason
not?
he's still there. That's the only reason he's still there, is because Gunther is now our DC.
Mm-hmm.
They picked up what was that, Gilchrist?
Yeah,
From
Marcus
the-
Gilchrist.
Gilchrist. And I honestly feel like he's a better player at this point in his career. Reggie Nelson swears he's still 27. That's a problem, because you watch people fly by you and you're like, I can catch up. No, you can't.
Are you excited about Gunther's defense, and why?
No. And honestly, I think we have talent. I
Right.
think we have talent on our defensive side. We added cornerback, high level cornerback from the Colts. It's hard to be rated a high level cornerback coming from the Colts.
Yeah.
And we did that with Rashawn Mathis.
Rashawn Mathis.
We get Gary and Conley back.
Yep.
He balled out the 2 games he played. If he stays healthy, he literally was out all season with shin splints.
With shin
With shin
splints.
splints. So I'm thinking those healed by now.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
the 2
Kevin
games
White.
that he played, hey, he balled out. He did what he had to do. So I think our corners should be good, staying healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Joseph, he played last year, and if he gets better, he takes another step.
He's a ball hawk.
Yeah, he's good. Now, that's where Reggie Nelson comes in.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. The other problem I have with Gunther's defense is the fact that they're going to be switching back to a 4-3, and they've been playing in a 3-4 the last 3 years. So that's going to take time. That's going to put Khalil Mack at DN. Now that puts Bruce Irvin at your strong side linebacker. So
Okay. You kind of answered my last question. Man, this guy he's really good. I was going to ask, what's your dream defensive backfield? Because I think for so long that had been the question. I think we kind of know based on your previous answer what that is. So I'll kind of flip it and say, how much are you expecting out of the rookie D linemen, specifically Arden Key and Maurice Hurst?
I'm actually excited about Hurst. Actually, both of them were first-round talents.
Yes.
Hurst had an issue with his heart. It got cleared.
Literally, not figuratively.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
And it got cleared, so I'm happy about that.
One
They
worse
said
than
he
the
had.
other, though.
It got cleared. They
Yep.
said he has to have yearly checkups, but I'm excited about him because they were like, he's a top 10 pick.
He is. Absolutely.
And the way he played at Michigan, he dominated.
Yeah.
Arden Key from LSU,
Yes.
he was also a baller.
Yeah.
He had problems off the field.
Right.
So
You got a few of those. It's the Raiders, though, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need them. That's when we successful,
When
right?
Ice Cube has your theme song.
We need a new NWA.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think I like the Chargers a lot. I think the Raiders, though, I think we're gonna be talking shit the whole
Question
year.
for both of y'all. The season records.
That's so hard for me.
I mean, now you're in the 32 Kings row. We talking about training
Yeah, but
camp.
y'all in the same division.
It's hard for me to say. I got to see what John Gruden puts out on the field before I even say it.
You felt some kind of way.
What I will say is this. I will say, okay, in 2017, the Chargers had a 3-3 record in the division. The previous year, they were 1-5. They will be over 500 in the division this season. That I will say. But training camp 4 weeks. A lot can happen in 4
exactly.
weeks. Yep. Kevin, you and Devin are going to tag team Omar.
Back again.
Yes,
Pause.
And based on your attire, no, I'm not pausing Ric Flair. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch the video or go log on to Facebook Live right now, and you will see Kevin in rare form.
Taco meat.
Shower ready. All right, Omar, I'll kick it off.
All right.
So your Chicago Bears had a top 10 defense last year,
Should be top 5 this year.
one of the 3 worst offenses.
By the way, Passenger 57 was on TV last night. It was.
I'm
John
sure
Cutter.
he DVR'd it. So with that being said, what changes have been made, whether personnel-wise or personal, for Mitch Trubisky to be able to take that leap in his sophomore year and take this offense down the field?
So everything has been revamped. We've brought in a tight end. You've brought in 2 receivers. Well, not everything's been revamped. The O-line is still the same. We're a little bit more healthy now in O-line. The most important thing is the head coach and the offense that he brings that actually, where last year defensive players were calling out our plays as we lined up. So you have a head coach who actually turned what's his boy name out of Kansas City's in
Alex Smith
into a world beater for most of the season. So the hope is that the brain trust and this creative offense that he's bringing in will change things.
Were there any flashes either from last season or just this summer that you've seen from Trubisky that give you confidence that he can be that guy?
There were a couple flashes, but part of the problem is, again, let's go back to John Fox and that offense where the defense is lining up and they know every down what we are doing. So it's almost impossible to throw a kid in there who, and say, hey, do something. Mm-hmm. There were flashes every now and then the old lineman, which, like Kyle Long said, from the moment he stepped into the huddle, he had command of what we were doing. So you understand that he's a leader of men, but that's only half the battle, so
what they're reporting is that it's a perfect marriage between scheme and talent fit. The things that
they can report that shit all they want.
Yeah, but but it's clear. It's clear what type of quarterback works in that sort of scheme. The read option sort of, and he's that.
Yes,
it's a perfect marriage.
Nagy wanted to draft him over Mahomes, so this is someone that is, when he says perfect marriage, this is what he wanted.
Yeah, and they're both gonna get their shot this season, so we'll see. Is there a position battle that sticks out to you?
It's kind of weird because in the last 3 years, there's been a total overhaul of players. I want to say only on the O-line are there any players left over from 4 years ago. There are no players besides the O-line that have been left over from 4 years ago. So the starters that we have are pretty much entrenched. There's a starting. See, I'm trying not to. Okay. The position battle that is the most intriguing is Bilal Nichols. He is the rookie DN. Mitch Unrein left and went to, I want to say he went to Tampa Bay. Jonathan Bullard was expected to take that spot. But Bilal, so far in the first 7 days, he had a couple slow days, but right now he's outplaying everybody. So.
Okay. So there are rumblings that Jordan Howard has worked on his hands this offseason. Can this take away from the electric Tariq Cohen snaps if he's able to get over his drop history?
In the end, this offense, they like to spread it around. So everybody will get less than what they got last year. And they added so many. Then you added Trey Burton, you added Taylor Gabriel, you added Robinson. So everybody's snaps will lessen a little bit. So, but as a whole, we should do more. If he is catching better, which in camp so far, he is catching everything they throw at him. But the difference is Cohen will actually get more wideouts opportunities.
So move him over.
Yeah, they want to get him matched up with linebackers. So he may get less running back opportunities, but he will see the ball pretty much just as much as he saw last year.
Okay. So aside from the position battle that you mentioned, the youngin fighting for that spot, is there a player that we should look out for? And also, are there any veterans that are in trouble?
So easily, Anthony Miller.
Nice. He cooked
And
UCLA.
that answers both questions. Answers both questions.
Okay.
Because Anthony Miller is killing everybody. He may end up out of camp as wide receiver 1. Which means Robinson
is here too.
Yes. So truthfully, it answered both questions. Another one is Deion Sims. I thought he would get cut. Nagy, they kept him.
That's the defensive end?
No, the tight end from Miami.
Okay.
So they that's who they signed last year. He didn't pan out as much, but Nagy said he liked him. But they signed Trey Burton.
Right.
But Adam Shaheen,
Yeah.
is especially in camp so far, is eating up everything in the red zone. All red zone drills. That 6'5" target is catching the ball. So Deion may not make it out of camp.
Okay.
So
It's on to you, bro.
yes, sir. Okay. The brothers Johnson. I'm gonna throw it to you first, Dev.
Okay.
What do you expect out of your newly revamped wide receiving core?
Well, there will definitely be better than our receiving core from last year.
Can't be worse.
I expect better production out of the passing game, period. Less interceptions this year because of less drops. Last year, Mike Wallace and Loch Ness Monster always...
Who?
Rashard Perriman.
Okay.
They would always drop things at the worst time, and most of the time they would end up as interceptions.
Omar knows because one of those 5 wins came against us based off drop passes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah. But I think we will overall have a better core, but I still think we will still have the worst core in our division. But that's the division we're in.
Okay. So, but you still feel like it's going to be a lot better.
I'm happy with what we have right now.
Okay. Kev, so speaking of wide receivers, y'all have a 33-year-old quarterback who hasn't thrown for more than 20 touchdowns or posted a passer rating better than 83.5 since 2014.
That's a long time, Jack.
And he hasn't thrown fewer than 12 interceptions since 2012. Oh shit. Really? Can Joe Flacco rebound this year?
I just want to know who sent him those statistics.
Shout out to USA Today.
Jokes aside, now that's a good question, but I think that the recipe for a rebound season is there because he's healthy for the first time since that 2014 season you mentioned, and he has the most weapons or the most diverse set of weapons, like Devin mentioned, since that year, which was was statistically the best year of his career. So I think that offense had balance. It kept Joe in and out the pocket, kept him mobile. And he ended up getting hurt in 15, tore his knee up. 16, he was rehabbing. 17, he got hurt in training camp. And then he came back, and midway through the season, when he got healthy, for the remaining games of the season, we had the 3rd highest scoring offense in the league. So, I think that's where it starts. It stops and ends with Joe Flacco. And I know everybody probably says this about their team, but I feel like people who blame our struggles solely on him, I think it's because they don't watch Ravens football games. And I truly mean that. And as someone who loves this team, as you can tell by my attire, it's hard for me to watch these motherfuckers sometimes. So I could only imagine what people on the outside think.
Aren't you missing his biggest motivation?
What was that?
His biggest motivation for being good this year?
Well, you could, of course, point to Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's got somebody trailing on his heels. But I would also be motivated that the first time in my 12 years on the team, they decide to put real weapons around me and give me a chance to compete against the offenses in my division. And I mean, even with Joe, it comes down to history shows that when he's healthy and he has weapons, he produces. It's the first time in maybe the 23 years as a franchise that we've invested more in our offense than our defense. So we'll see when kickoff starts.
Okay. Okay. Dev?
Yes, sir.
So you got a new defensive coordinator in Don Martindale.
Wink. Yep.
Don Wink Martindale.
Yes, sir.
The last time he was a DC was in 2010 with the league worst at the time, Denver Broncos. Are you worried about him as your DC and your another year with your aging defense, as Les like to point out?
Well, I'd like to find out who's aging on the defense aside from Suggs, because everybody else on the defense is a second or third year player. But I'll get into that. As far as Wink goes, yeah, they were shit. That was 8 years ago, though, and it's bothersome. But he's also been with our team
It's
since.
bothersome?
Yeah, it was.
Is Weddle still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still
Don't redo it. Don't redo it.
No. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I was asking a question because you said besides Suggs.
Well, yeah, Weddle's older, but that's it. Everybody else is young.
Give me that 2-shot, Mike. Give me that 2-shot.
Everybody else is young.
I was just checking. You said just Suggs, and I was asking if Weddle's there.
Dad, don't pay them no mind. When you losing, you start to do negative shit. Keep it going.
You're right. But I mean, he's been our linebacker coach.
Hey, I'll let you rock.
He's been our linebacker coach since 2012. Where he worked with Ray Lewis and Suggs, and then since then we've had Doomerville, Mosley, even Daryl Smith, Pernell McPhee. Hi, Omar. How'd that work out for you? Donnell Ellerby, another guy who got money off of our defense, which he was the coach of that particular unit. So the guys like him. He's an aggressive play caller, which is completely different from what Dean Pease was, which was
shitty.
Yeah, well, let's be aggressive, and then when it matters, let's go zone and be soft.
Right.
Which 4th and 12 ended our fucking season. So, I'm pleased. I'm hearing a lot of good things from Camp. I mean, his only record as a DC was poor, but that was a long time ago.
Okay.
I mean, you could even point at Jimmy Smith, who has injury history, actually turns 30 today. But then even behind him, we got Tavon Young. We drafted Marlon Humphrey. So I don't know. It's a good point, Omar. I just think we got depth in those positions where age could be a problem.
Yeah. Jefferson's 26. Mosley's 26. Humphrey's 22. Judon's 25. Bowden's 23. Tim Williams is 24. Brandon Williams is 29.
Hold up, yo. Kenyon been a fan for a whole 4 months. You know that laughing like he knows what this shit is like. You don't know.
Hey, it was just a question, brother. It was just a question. All right, last but not least. Kev. Come on, Kev. You ready, Kev?
He ain't got no shirt on. Nino Brown is ready.
This is a lot. What's the positional camp battle that you're most excited about?
Saying, yeah, we made the playoffs in 3 years. All right, look.
And he flashed the nipple.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Stop it.
So for me, it's the inside linebacker position. We had Peanut Onwasor. I'm hoping I pronounced his name right. But he filled in whatever Devin said. That's what we're going to go with. He ended up filling in for Zach Orr when he retired, but he was our guy last year. But now we got Kenny Young from UCLA, who is shown to be just as quick and can defend running backs coming out of the backfield as well as tight end. So I think for me, that's a position where I think he, it's kind of underrated in terms of the battle for that position. But I think if he can give Peanut some run for his money at that inside backer position, then that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Outside of that, I would throw in maybe the running backs, just because we had Alex Collins kind of come out of nowhere last year and emerge as our number one guy, but he came on because Kenneth Dixon got suspended and then injured, but Dixon's back. So now we got him, Buck Allen, Alex Collins, all capable guys fighting for touches. So we shall see.
How's Lashley doing from UCLA?
He's been doing good.
Oh, okay.
Now, he looks good with Lamar Jackson, so you guys will get a good dose of that next week. So don't worry.
Hey, Kev, we got anything in diplomatic community before we get up out of here?
We do indeed. First question, we're gonna go back to Les. I think we kind of let him off too easy. Old Wood, Glenn Patterson wants to know what do you expect from Marshawn this season, one, and then do you think that Derek Carr will miss Crabtree, who is now a Baltimore Raven?
I don't think he'll miss Crabtree because he had his drop issues also. And they did bring in Jordy Nelson, who is shorthanded. And if they move him inside like they did Larry Fitzgerald, I feel like he can have a bounce back year. So I don't, and you have Martavius Bryant, who will be able to stretch the field. And if Amari Cooper learns how to catch,
he know how to stretch a blunt too.
It's legal in Cali.
Not in NFL.
And if Amari learns how to catch, he surely won't miss Crabtree. Marshawn is Marshawn. He's a national treasure, right?
Only if Twitter knew.
He's a wonderful human being.
So if they give him the rock, he gonna do what he do.
That was funny.
Yeah, if they give him the rock, he gonna do what he do. So I don't have no worries about him.
Now another question I want to ask Omar this, but Kenyon, Devin, maybe y'all can add some unbiased opinion here. Can anyone legitimately challenge the Vikings in the NFC North?
I don't think they finished this. I don't think they finished first. I think Green Bay beats them.
Kenyon, your voice got deep as shit.
Truthfully, this is unbiased. I don't care what you say. This is my division. I don't think Minnesota is as good as people think they are. I think they're due for a comeback down. They are.
So
I think
they bring back
where?
They bring back their starting running back and a better quarterback.
I think Green Bay beats them.
I don't like Green Bay that much this year, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, who's running the ball for Green Bay? I think
Who's ever ran the ball for Green Bay?
Well, but I think and that's what I'm saying. I think it's important. Here's the Minnesota. All right, so on paper, Minnesota is the team to beat. I just wonder if Kirk Cousins, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
And he wanted it though.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Yeah, you want it. You want that money.
That pressure.
But now the pressure is
brain
on.
trust. What's his name left? Offensive coordinator.
Pat Shermer. He
Pat
did.
Shermer,
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, so we don't know what the offense is going to look like next year.
And then they lost Sperano.
Yeah.
Low key. No jokes.
It is they and
Dalvin Cook.
We don't know
back,
exactly what you said. We don't know if Cousins is.
That's the only question I have with Minnesota. Green Bay's going to be there because Aaron Rodgers is just that good. But I do want to know who's going to be the running back. Is it going to be running back by committee in Green Bay?
To be.
You know what I mean?
It always
But
has to be.
but what I will say is their defense will be improved, so that will be interesting. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't need much. So if those corners can cover, if they can hold up in coverage, we'll see what happens.
Is that all we got, Kev?
I have another one. Good old Slug
quick.
wants to know, do you think we'll see Andrew Luck return to form, or does Indy still not have enough for him to be what we all expected him to be at one point?
Honestly, I think it's beyond Indy. I just think that division has just gotten better since Andrew Luck has been gone.
But his first question, I do think he'll return to form.
Not if that offensive line is still trash.
No,
Jacksonville,
I think he's healthy.
Tennessee.
So
yeah, I think
and if he's healthy, he's a good quarterback.
I think he's healthy. I think he's a smarter player. I think they have added some pieces there, but I think the story at the end of the season, or at least going into the season, is just going to be it was a different division than when he was last there. Straight up. I mean, Jacksonville. You got Malik Jackson talking about going 16-0. Deshaun Watson is coming back, and he lit the league up.
Because Chicago Bears quarterback Deshaun Watson. Oh damn.
And Tennessee, oh my God! And Tennessee is not a bad team either.
And guess what, guys?
didn't draft
Guess what?
What?
We can finish this in 32 Kings Road because it's about time to get up out of here.
It is time to get up out of here. We
Sir.
can finish at 32 Kings Road. Great season, guys.
Yeah, good season, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. Please check us out across all social media platforms on the handle at The League AM. Again, check us out on our new season of 32 Kings Road on August 28th. Liking is cool, but sharing is caring. And see y'all in a couple weeks.
London, we coming back, baby.
See you in China, Lamar Odom.
crackhead.